To preface you guys on why we're doing this, basically you can blame Justifire in a way because he kind of started this whole idea. Justifire got me talking about video games on a stream where I spent like two different chunks of like 15 minutes and etc. Where we were talking about how games have changed. So anyway, welcome to the first episode of Just a Hat Fire. That's what we're gonna call it. Pestel decided it.
Just a Hat Fire.
With me is the man, the myth, the legend, Justifire, who agreed to be our first subject. And we're basically working off of his schedule, not mine. Basically, whenever he says he's free, that's what we're basically going to do it. So, Justifire, why don't you introduce yourself and tell people what you do?
So,
and don't sell yourself short, or I will smack you.
To which of that, you guys know me as Alphinore or Mystical James. I do animations, 3D modeling, texturing. So I know a little bit about game design, a little bit, because I've dabbled into it. So this will be a very fun topic to talk about. Boy, do I have a tangent? Boy, do I.
So the plan is I've already planned out 3 episodes in advance. So this is the first episode about video games, and then next time it's going to be about VRC and Unity, which he is more knowledgeable in Unity than I am. So he'll be the one primarily talking. I'll just kind of be nodding along. And then the third episode's going to be about religion and UFOs, and then the fourth is going to be about AI, which is going to be fun. So,
also sorry, chat. I'm just getting the pins ready. I'm sorry.
But so, you're fine, buddy. Where do we start? Last time we talked about how things have changed and things have. For example, I played a game yesterday. That Moth actually suggested to me, and one of the things my viewers noticed, and I mean, again, we're going to be talking about AI later, but given that we're talking about video games, it's relevant to the conversation, that one of the voices in the game was AI, was an AI-generated voice, and they could tell, which is kind of crazy. Now, as someone explained to me once, a Backrooms creator, it's okay if you build a game, but if there's something you don't know, it's alright to, use AI to at least help you, but it's not a means to an end.
Yeah, I got you.
But video games have changed, if I take myself back to when I played PlayStation 1 and 2 games, how different things were. You could play a game literally in a day and finish it in a day. Most of the time, depending on the game. Well, if it was like Morrowind, you are not going to finish it in a day, but most games you could. Like, for example, when I played Spider-Man 1 back in the day, yes, I played Spider-Man 1. Basically, I got my first tetanus shot, and I was terrified, but my mother said, hey, if you go through with this, you can play video games all day. I'm like, alright, bet. That sounds like a fair trade. And so I sat, and Mom basically kept her word. I got my tetanus shot, went home. I was like, can I go play now? She's like, I won't even bother you. And I'm just like, this is great. So I went and played through all of Spider-Man 1, and it was very, very fun. I had a great time. And the hilarious thing is at the very end of the game, because I don't know whether the game knew it or not, but one of the things the character says at the very end of the game is go outside and play. I was like, wow.
So that's where this is not the Insomniac Spider-Man. This is a different Spider-Man.
This is the original Spider-Man. Very first one.
Sugi.
So, Justifier, what's a game you played back when that sticks with you?
Well,
besides Spyro.
I played it. Really? That's the first game I ever touched with Spyro. It's like my childhood game.
Yeah.
And as I always say, it's not about the graphics, because you can play any classic game and you can see it's made with fun. Because it's not there to trick you. It's not there because, like I said, you play Spyro. There's no tricks. There's no. If I get a special power up, I'll finish the level. Everything is made complete. And I think that's the issue with games today: is things aren't made complete.
Yeah, we I don't remember when it first started, but the idea of beta games being put out for people to try and play on paper sounds like a great idea. Now, in some cases, it was a great idea. In some cases.
Yeah.
But over the years, it's like there's this dependency now where every game almost that comes out is in beta or alpha, and it's usually a mess with a few minor exceptions.
I mean, I have a word to say to every developer. Stop trying to be like GTA. Guys can't stop it. Not worth it anymore.
Get some help.
Because not every game need to be cinematic. Not every game. I think that's what people need to, or developers need to stop, and publishers. Nothing needs to be realistic. Like, I get it. Unreal Engine 5, pretty, graphics awesome, but that's really sell the game? Because any game could look pretty. Any game could be like 10 million polygons. But is it fun? And I think that's what most developers are missing.
Yeah.
The fun factor.
Fun has really been lost today because, like, I don't think there are many games I played where I've actually felt that magic, like I was having fun. I think, like, the most recent game I played where I felt like I was actually having fun was Bugsnax, which is why it's my game of the year, because that game surprised me. I went into that game doubtful at first, but then I came out of it, and it was my game of the year because Bugsnax isn't anything per se new, but it's just the fact that they put so much love into it. It's an insane game. It's a completely horrifying game, but it's amazing. And it's not a game that was in beta when it came out. It's a full thing from one end to the other. There are games now, mind you, that do come out that are, from start to finish finished, which we've played, like Bugsnax being one, or what's another one I played? My goodness, I've played so many. Oh yeah, Seventh Guest. We'll get to talking about remakes, because Seventh Guest is a remake, but it is a good remake.
Yeah.
But Justifire and I both have seen like how games have evolved from being pixelated to the era of loot crates. That was a fun time to be alive, and all of that. To now, where it's instead of loot crates, it's loot crates and battle boxes, and now it's, what is it now? What did they do in Call of Duty now?
Well, I think for this it's just microtransactions.
Microtransactions, yeah. Like, there are games played with that, where, you spend money to open things.
I get it. Making games is expensive. I get
that. Bork, thank you for the raid. Welcome to the Farming Army.
Nowadays,
we're currently doing a podcast.
5 million, they want 100 million, 200.
Hello, radios of Belfast. We're doing a podcast. Hope you had a good stream, man. What were you playing?
Oh my god. But to each their own. I think what these game studios need to just realize, they don't need to spend these billions and millions just to sell a game. Because they can see the indie industry. They can see it. No indie developer spending like $50 million to sell like Hollow Knight, or what's another indie game that came out that people love and adore? I forgot. Said Silent Hill F, right?
Yes. Well, Silent Hill came from a different company.
I know it's not an indie game, but it was like $2 million.
I don't know how much they spent on making Silent Hill F, but it was definitely worth it. Again, Silent Hill 2, the remake, and F, both I had fun with, because you could feel the love put into it. Now, could I also feel the emotional damage of the story? Absolutely. Because, again, the guy who made Silent Hill F also wrote... Well, no, who wrote Silent Hill F also wrote Higurashi, so I knew going in it was going to be messed up. I just didn't know how messed up it was going to be. Oh yeah, Little Nightmares. Little Nightmares is another good example. And apparently, I heard like 2 days ago that Little Nightmares is being hated on for some reason. The first one, for some reason. I don't know why. Little Nightmares is such a good game. Claire Obscura is also a good one. But Little Nightmares 1 and 2, again, they're terrifying games when you really think about the lore behind them. And I haven't played 3 yet. I will eventually. What's another game that you can feel the passion in is Cultic. Now, Cultic just got its second chapter recently, and the first chapter is a whole entire game in of itself. Now, again, on the subject of games being beta, Cultic has an excuse at least, because if you play the first chapter, it's like you'll be there for hours, and that's fine. And now chapter 2 out, you have more you can do and play. But there are other games that have been doing that too, where they'll put out one chapter that costs you money, and then they put out another chapter and that one costs you money, and it's like there's not much in it at all, and or it's DLC.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember when DLC, like Halo 2, well, I'll use Halo 2. Remember when Halo 2, the DLC came out? When they gave you Valhalla, Sand Trap, and a bunch of other maps. They gave you
Mm-hmm.
a trial of Xbox Live and a bunch of cosmetics. It wasn't just like
Mm-hmm.
freakishly costly cosmetics or just one thing. It was a bunch of
If they
stuff.
have mods in the chat, can you please remove that? Thank you. Wait,
You
go ahead.
know, like you remember that, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
When DLC used to be,
Oh,
something and not just regurgitated, not like disaster.
see, this is like they make DLCs is like we're gonna make the game now and we're just gonna build on it later. And I don't think that's the way you should make your game. I think you build the base and then you add on to the base like an additional building. Because I think most publishers forget what DLC means, which I guess we can brain free games for that because obviously service free games like League of Legends they do DLCs differently because obviously they can add like a whole new map or a whole new this, but that's their business model of that to keep players playing the game because new content, fresh stuff. But for a video game that's single player, kind of doesn't make sense to just get a new skin or a new mission. Like just add that to the base game, in that kind of sense of DLC. I mean, uh, like Phil, remember when games weren't like gigabytes to download? Remember those days?
Yeah.
Also, the moderators. Like,
Yeah,
mhm,
what was it? For example, I watched For Honor go from, what was For Honor when it first
mhm,
started? It was like 70 gigabytes, and now it's over 100.
mhm,
Crazy. Or when
mhm,
whenever I used to install GTA, it was like 50 gigabytes, which I was like, eh. But now when I
mhm.
reinstall GTA, it's over 100, which is nuts. Like,
Indeed. Mhm.
I don't understand. I don't know where the compression is gone. Or maybe it,
Let's see. Doing my research, I saw in these YouTube videos that they just think that because people have 4K monitors, and I'm like, I get it. You want to give people with that kind of definition, that quality, but it's like that's not the player base. Most player base is still on 1080p. I was still shocked by that, or 1440, but no 4K. Like no one needs 4K textures.
no one can
I mean, if
afford
you want
4K.
4K textures, more power to you.
People can't afford 4K. People are darn lucky if they
Mm,
can afford 4K these days. No
yeah.
one has that, and because again, this is what they aren't thinking about. And you're right, because
Mhm.
I remember when 1080p used to be the huge rave for a while. People were like, "This is great," and then we had the other one you mentioned. Then it was what three? It was 1K, then 2K, then 3K, then it was 4K monitors.
Yeah. Hmm.
Have a good
It's
night,
like.
Shadies. But it's like
Mhm.
I know that 4K looks nice and everything, but is it
Mhm.
necessary? No, not necessary.
Not
Because
necessary, no.
they're not what they're thinking. Well, they're not thinking about the smaller people who are running potatoes, as it were. And knowing that's no
Hmm.
insult to people, but that's the truth. They're not thinking of
Hmm.
those people. They're thinking about the people with monster computers who can run everything. It's like no.
Oh, speaking of that, chat, here's a 5 minute tangent that I wanted to, because I'm so leveraging. I am so sick of the stupid NVIDIA frame gen. Like, no, that is not an excuse to make your game unoptimized for fake frames. It is not an excuse, and I'm so sick of it. Like, I get it. Like you said, AI, future, lovely, perfect, but it should not be like an excuse to be lazy. It should not. Your game should be performing well. I want all the frames. If I need to do frame gen, I would do it if it's like, I wouldn't want to say I want to do it because no one likes fake frames. Everybody you talk to who wants to get a GPU does not like fake frames. Doesn't look good. It's smudgy. And don't get me started. I mean, Phil, I'm pretty sure you'll ever get into on ray tracing, right?
We don't need ray tracing.
Ray tracing. Mm-hmm. So hi, Alex. Yeah. Like, publishers should just stop that nonsense.
The other thing that isn't
Fringing should not be the
necessary.
clutch.
The other thing that isn't necessary is VSync and anti. VSync isn't needed anymore. Like, who even uses it? And anti-analyzing as well.
Oh, anti-aliasing, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of get what anti-aliasing because it makes like sharp edges like this more smoother instead of just being hard. But just how they implement motion blur just makes it,
Oh yeah, motion blur.
as most people, motion sickness for people.
Motion blur isn't necessary either.
Yeah.
Like, I turn off motion blur. What's the other thing? Oh yeah, I turn off bloom sometimes because bloom apparently makes people sick too, from what I've heard. Let's see, motion blur, bloom. What's the other one? Lens flares I've turned off too. Even though I know, what's his name? Even though J.J. Abrams loves his lens flares, I turn them off.
Yeah.
Yes, if you know you're watching J.J. Abrams film because of lens flares. Because they're everywhere. It's kind of like Michael Bay when you're watching Transformers, their explosions are everywhere. So,
indeed.
But we're not talking about movies. That's another episode we'll get to. We'll talk about how movies have both evolved and devolved. Because there are good movies that come out. Don't get me wrong. But it's not like it used to be where it's like, my goodness, I haven't really heard people be excited much about movies anymore. People have been catching up on all the older movies and said, but that's another time. On the subject of old games, again, I've played, funny enough, even though I'm terrible at platforming games, I played a lot of platforming games as a kid, and it's what baffles me the most about myself. It's like I'm terrible at them, but I played a lot of them. I played Frogger 2, I played Rayman, I played Zapper, which is a lesser known Frogger-like game.
Yeah.
Zapper, you basically play a cricket that can shoot electricity. Very fascinating.
Okay.
Yeah. Little brother gets kidnapped by a burb, and you literally murder her to rescue him. But she's kind of crazy.
Got you.
What's another game? Little Croc, yeah, I mentioned that. Little Croc is, you play Little Crocodile. Rayman, you're armless and legless, but you have feet and and hands that can fly everywhere. Another game that people don't talk about anymore is Ratchet & Clank. Does anyone remember Ratchet & Clank? Because I do. No one talks about Ratchet & Clank anymore. Nobody does.
Because Insomniac is doing Spider-Man. That's probably why.
I know, but yeah, that's one thing I've noticed is people used to talk about Ratchet & Clank all the time. It was crazy. You couldn't...
Sly Cooper.
You couldn't unhear and Sly Cooper, yeah. But then it's like, I don't know what happened. It's like Ratchet & Clank just disappeared. And I don't hear about it anymore. What's another game people don't talk about anymore?
And Ratchet & Clank had a movie, if you remember.
Oh yeah, it did. I haven't watched it, but I know about it. What's another game that appeared and but then disappeared? There's a lot of them.
Yes, a lot.
Too many.
If franchise don't make money, it's like, on to the new thing. Unless you're Call of Duty, which is really
Call of Duty needs to die too. Yeah, I agree. It does. Like, I'm sorry to you people out there, but Call of Duty just needs to stop. And Mario, and I'm gonna make people mad, but Mario, and what's the other one? Help me here. Zelda.
I don't know many Nintendos. I know this Donkey Kong. That's all about it.
Also, screw Nintendo. But anyway,
we will get to that soon.
No one loves Nintendo. No one loves Nintendo.
Boy, I have my words to say.
What's another franchise that needs to calm down? Mario, Zelda.
I would say Super Smash, but people love Super Smash, so I can't really say that.
Sonic. So one that needs to calm down.
Sonic, really?
Like, there comes a point, in my humble opinion, where you've milked something long enough. I mean, it's like you have so many games, so much stuff. Like, I understand if you're trying to pan out the lore and everything, but there should come a point where it's like, okay, we're done. We can just move on to the next thing. Because I've heard stories of people who have written other, game title stories that have been put into filing cabinets that I never have seen the light of day that would have been amazing, but, they have to set it aside for things like Mario and other stuff.
Indeed,
Assassin's
indeed.
Creed would be another example. Where I love Assassin's Creed, like
Yeah.
next person. I thought Valhalla was pretty cool. I know people don't say it's not an Assassin's Creed game. I don't care. I enjoyed it. um, it was different. But I do think that it too should, calm down. Would I like to see a Prince of
Calm
Persia
down.
remake? I would, because I would like to Prince of Persia to come out on modern gen stuff. The only reason being is because it's the original Sands of Time Prince of Persia. That's the only reason. I love that game very much. That's another parkour game that I played that for some reason I love, but it's because it was fun to play. What's another game? There've been a lot of Spider-Man games too. My favorite, if you guys want to know what my favorite Spider-Man game is, it is Ultimate Spider-Man. Because you get to
Oh,
play
really?
Venom, and it is fun.
I see.
And it's fun.
Mm.
And plus,
Yeah.
style of Ultimate Spider-Man is just so good. But I would say the second to that one would probably be Shattered Dimensions, because it's very interesting, that one. Mainly because that's the first time you get to see Noir Spider-Man, and everybody was going crazy about him. Everyone says that Nicolas Cage should play Noir Spider-Man. Don't know why.
I mean, yeah.
But
Spider-Man was good.
But yeah, I remember when loot boxes and battle boxes first came around, they were extremely prevalent in the Star Wars Battlefront games, and that's why the first Star Wars Battlefront died so fast, was because of those. It was ridiculous. It drove people away. EA lost a lot of money to that game. But from what I've heard, apparently both games are doing a turnaround recently, because the fan base
EA is no longer being a meme anymore.
Yeah. And the Star Wars fan base just won't die, which is fine. Again, on the subject of good games, both, and this is funny for EA, because as much as we will hate on EA, hey, they did put out two very, very good games, that being Jedi Survivor and its sequel, which apparently are extremely good. For all the bad talk we can say about it, EA, hey, at least they put out two good games that people actually will say, yes, these are good. Keep it up, EA. Stop being stupid.
Indeed. Indeed.
But I agree that I do wish and I do hope that developers wake up and realize that putting up betas and stuff is just not going to work anymore, because there's some thing that's happened that I've noticed when beta games drop now, where people expect certain things, and if those things don't happen, then it basically will either you'll kill your game if you're not careful. There's a game that came out, I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it was a beta game. People had expectations that weren't fulfilled, and they just bailed on it, and it died off on first day. Another game that died on first was this game that was a scam? Well, it was everywhere on YouTube for a while. It was like a new day, the final day, something like that, second day, something like that. I forget what it was called. But you would all have to look into that one, because apparently it was like very, very hyped and people are excited for it, but when it dropped, it was apparently some sort of, it was like a scam or something. So so I know you wanted to say something about Nintendo, so go ahead.
On Nintendo? It's kind of funny with the Nintendo storyline, because people say the downfall of Nintendo's when two of its best employees have left, which I did not know was the case. I forget their names, but he worked at America, and I'm pretty sure you guys will know who I'm talking about, because he was the face of all the advertising. And I did not know behind the scenes that he will literally push for Nintendo to release something for free. Apparently, the higher ups at Nintendo hate giving out free stuff. They hate it. Like, for instance, I forgot what console it was, like the Wii. Like, they're just gonna sell the Wii and not give like any incentivization of why people should buy the Wii. And I forgot his name, and I hate that I forgot his name, but he incentivized that you should bundle it with Wii Sports, and they were like, "No, that's that stuff for free. No, not do that." And he pestered so much, and eventually he got his way, which in the American market, the Wii was bundled with Wii Sports, and as everyone know, it blew up like
Yes,
crazy.
yeah, it did.
hmm So it goes to show that Nintendo just need to stop being so greedy, so close-minded, and not think that. I'm pretty sure Super Mario Odyssey was giving like for free in a bundle. I'm pretty sure people give so much hate to it now, but $80 for a Mario game.
Yeah, no,
I'm sorry,
no, no.
Nintendo. I know you love the plumber, but he is not worth $80. I am sorry. Maybe 60, maybe, but 80, no,
Do you
absolutely
guys remember when games were $20? I do.
not. No, oh my God, $20. That's like the DLC price if you're lucky on sale on Steam.
I remember
That's
when
if
video
you're lucky.
games, the highest, most expensive video game was $20. And then for some
No,
reason the bracket was raised to 50. And at the time I was like, that's
no.
crazy. But oh, I mean, if it's something like GTA where there's like massive amounts of content, then okay, fine. Fine.
hmm
But it's like
Yeah.
other ways, or something like Skyrim or Oblivion, where it's like
hmm
there's so much packed into it that okay, fine. But any other game, no.
hmm
Like
And
you gotta be
yeah.
crazy. And now Nintendo's doing what
hmm
Nintendo's doing with the whole, we're gonna raise our game prices. And it's like, no one in their right
hmm
mind's gonna pay that. No one is. Like, if anyone's going to pay it, it's the diehard fans that are brain dead. And are just spending money to spend money so they can wander around and be like, hey, I got that game, I'm cool. It's like, no, you're an idiot. And now
Oh,
we have
also.
Nintendo boycotting
hmm
their their Switch 2 and saying, "Oh, you can't upgrade it, or we'll kill the console because it's not technically yours, even
hmm
though you paid for it." Nintendo, what are you doing? That's
hmm
kind of stupid. Because isn't it
hmm
isn't it when you sell something and someone buys it, it becomes their property? It's not your
hmm
property anymore. Yes, your name is on it,
hmm
and they're not, say, reselling it to someone else saying, "Hey, I made this." Then you could get mad because, hey, they're selling it to someone else saying they made this thing or whatever, taking from you. That'd be one thing. But no, if they're modifying their thing to make it better, you should be
hmm
happy about it instead. Or
hmm
maybe instead of sending out a product that isn't trash, you should think about those things about modifying and just be like, hey, we should make it modifiable, or hey, have those things already in place so people can get their money's worth, like all good, honest companies should, you know?
Wait. We all know Nintendo's not honest. We all know this.
Mm.
They're soul scumbags. Which I'm gonna talk directly at the camera. If any Nintendo employees are listening, and if they ever, you guys don't own game mechanics. I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you guys all to grow up. Let Pal World be Pal World. Owning game mechanics is stupid. I'm sorry. Mounts were a thing before you guys made Pokemon a thing. You guys don't own game mechanics. Right? Nintendo devs? Nintendo lawyers?
That's
United
that's
States Court, if you're listening?
that's
hmm
that's it. That's the
Yeah.
equivalent of saying, okay, let's take this a step further. That's the equivalent of saying, the shooter should just, that's like saying, hey, that shooter has a gun, the same
hmm
gun, like that's saying, like, for example, there's a Call of Duty gun, they're using that gun,
Yeah.
and then another game puts out that gun and it's the same gun, same make, same model, but it's in a different game. Are you seriously going
hmm
to sue just because of that? No. Welcome to there's nothing new under the sun. The people are going to use your stuff. It's called welcome to creativity. Welcome to taking something that was made
hmm
and adding to it, adding your own thing to it. Power can do that. They're allowed to do that. It's not
hmm
yours, Nintendo. Because if Nintendo's logic, if Nintendo wanted to play, okay, anyone could play by Nintendo's logic at that point, you know? Like, if you think
hmm
about it, if Nintendo really wants to play that kind of game, then Power World can do the same thing to Nintendo, where it's like, well, we can do that too. Because, hey, you're going after our thing. We made this. So by your own logic, It's a circle of reasoning at that point. We're just going to go around in circles. And Azuki says, I think it's worse that you only pay for the license to use Nintendo products applies to consoles and games. That's true. It's another stupid thing that I think Nintendo needs to stop doing. You shouldn't have to pay for a license to play their games. If you're buying their game, that should be enough, right?
I mean, they just doing the Ubisoft model, which I hate, which is you do not own what you own. You're just giving the privilege. It's like, excuse me, privilege? Then I give the privilege. I'm not giving you my money. How about that? Eat them apples for Ubisoft.
And that's why Ubisoft is Ubi don't or Ubi die, as my good other friends call it. Because Ubisoft is dying right now. I mean, last I heard, their shares are in the toilet right now.
Which sucks because I loved the Watch Dogs series. I mean, I know
I loved
wept about it.
I loved Prince of Persia, and I did love For Honor once upon a time, but they stopped making maps, and it's just been new characters, and yeah, the cosmetics are nice, but it used to be that whenever they put out a new character, they also put out a new map, and that was nice. They haven't done that for like forever. Uzuki also says, unfortunately, this also applies to movies/series purchased on Steam or Amazon Video. You don't need to do that if you know where to find the movies and shows. Be like me, go find them. Because again, people forget you have the internet, and this is a PSA for anyone. You don't need Netflix. You don't need Amazon. You just need the internet and to know where to find the movies. If you know where the titles are and you type in the right words, you can find the movies pretty
we're not going to say
easily.
here because we don't get taken down, but you know.
If you know, you know. Exactly. If you know where to look, or if you know somebody who knows where to look, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. As a matter of fact, on a brief subject on movies, I have something that no longer exists because I've looked for it. I'll say this much. I have the Australian Kitchen Nightmares episodes. You can look. I have looked. Trust me. You're not going to find them unless they're behind a paywall somewhere. Because they appeared once on YouTube and then they disappeared. And yes, for you Kitchen Nightmare nerds out there, there was an Australian version. It was there for like a few days and then it completely was erased, gone. But I have them. I have them. Not going to say how, but I do have them because I'm smart and grabbed them before they disappeared. On the subject of games, back to that, I do. Here's a game that deserves to get praise, and we're going to talk about a game that was made by one guy. I have given the game to Moth, but it basically doesn't exist anymore, so you guys aren't going to be able to find it, but I do have it. It's called Paradox of Hope. It was made by one guy, and basically it's their VR version. It's a VR. So if you guys all know what Metro 2033 is all that. I love the Metro games pieces. I love those games. All three are awesome games. Even the Metro VR game is an awesome game. They did very well with it. But before the Metro VR game came out, if you wanted something Metro-like that was in VR, Paradox of Hope basically was that. And this was one guy who made it. Unfortunately, and it was not the Metro devs. Metro devs loved his game. They're like, cool, go for it. No, it was the Metro publishers who came to this guy and are like, actually, you can't make this game. We can't let you be selling this game. You're gonna have to take it down, or we're gonna come after you for no reason. So they unfortunately had to take it down. But I do have it. They made a Stalker like a VR game, which is their way of just going jokes on you to those people. Another game I didn't get a hold of it, and I'm so mad because it didn't make it to the light of day. So, for those of you who don't know, there was a Lego game that was being made, and I've been keeping track of it for years. I was so hyped for it. There's even a gameplay YouTube video that came out recently. What it was going to have in it. Unfortunately, it had to be stopped and had to be canceled because Lego reached out to the developers that were making it, and it made me so freaking mad because it's like, do you have any idea what kind of service it would have done you?
Yeah.
Like, they were making a Bionicle game, and it was going to be amazing. They put so much work into it. So much work.
It's wow. Oh boy.
I hate it. Like, there was also going to be, Republic Commando was going to get remade by some fans. That didn't happen. Knights of the Republic, someone was remastering it on the Unreal Engine. Didn't happen. EA reached out. There is out there, somewhere out there, you can find it, there is a remaster of the Pod Racer game. Out there somewhere, if you can find it. I found it, I know where it is. Someone currently is working on a Mortal Kombat-like Star Wars game right now. And it still exists, thankfully, because the developer at first took it down because you know, EA. But then he thought twice. He was like, you know what? Bite me, to EA. Put it back up. And he's been working on it since, and he's just like, I don't care. And what are they gonna do? He's like, what are they gonna do? Because I don't know what law thing he apparently quoted from, but he quoted from something where he's like, I can do this because of this. I don't remember what he said exactly, but apparently he can get away with it for some reason. On another subject of things, I don't know if you've seen the first episode of that some fans did of Darth Vader, but Disney tried to copyright it. Yeah, Disney tried to copyright it, and LucasArts reached out to them and said, take it down. To the copyright. They're like, no. And Disney's like, okay.
See, what I'm about to talk about is 50-50, because say what you want. Scott Cawthon is an example of a developer that cares about the fans.
Yeah.
Because if you care about your fans, instead of just giving them the middle finger, like, how dare you be creative over our IP, you can make so many things flourish. It's ridiculous. Like, say what you want about FNAF. If there was no FNAF, there would be no Bendy, there would be no Poppy's Playtime, there would be no that Thomas the Tank Engine horror game, there would be none of those games. So, all these developers just usually embraced. I think that's what these publishers, they hate embracing the community, which is kind of sad. Because if you don't embrace your community, things don't flourish. Like, Fear Chat, for instance, if they didn't embrace the community, the game would be as big as it is. So, publishers, if you're listening, embrace. Don't hinder. I know Nintendo's gonna be like, no, we don't do that. Well, Nintendo, you'd just be left in the dust like everybody else.
Nintendo needs to grow up and grow up, literally.
Embrace your community. You'll be amazed of the things that would come out. You'll be amazed. Scott Cawthon proved it. I'm sure. Any other developer?
Like the FNAF fan base is crazy, but I've heard things depending on who you ask, but it's like FNAF changed the world. It did.
Oh, yes.
Because Justifire's right, if it wasn't for FNAF, we wouldn't have Poppy's Playtime, we wouldn't have Bendy, we wouldn't have what's that? There's an analog horror going around right now. I can't remember off the top of my head what it's called, but it's so good. But if you know, you know. It's involved. For those of you out there, it involves a guy in this purple rabbit-esque suit thing, The point is that
Mm-hmm.
it's like the Darkman files or something like that. Walton files. Thank you. The
Mm-hmm.
Walton files. The Walton files wouldn't exist if it was for FNAF. FNAF. When FNAF came out, everyone went nuts about it. I remember because I was there. I was there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually was a fanboy of FNAF for a little bit till about FNAF 3, and then I got over it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it was everybody was going crazy about theorizing, throwing theories everywhere. Game theory was like the rave back then.
Mm,
And Markiplier, of course, is the king of FNAF. And if it wasn't for FNAF, I'm
yeah.
pretty sure Mark wouldn't be where he is now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Indeed.
say what you will,
Mm-hmm.
Justifire is right, but FNAF changed the world. Just as
Mm-hmm.
there are games out there that changed the course of history, because before FNAF, it was Halo that changed the course of history. Because when Halo came out,
Mm-hmm.
funny enough about a story about Halo is that up until Halo came out, we weren't allowed to play M-rated games in my house. We weren't allowed.
Really?
We weren't. We were
Okay.
extremely. It was extremely tight. But then Halo
Mm.
came into our house, and I remember the very night when Dad was playing it. He decided to play it with my older brother, and they just played the multiplayer, and they were just shooting each other. It was silly. Then they played the
Mm.
campaign, and everything changed because not only did my older brother love the campaign, but for some weird reason, my mother also loved the music.
Mm-hmm.
And that game brought us all together because Halo 1, then Halo 2, and Halo 3. I remember when the trailer of Halo 3 dropped, and one of the lines I remember the guy saying was, people are going to spend hours dropping tanks on each other because of Forge. And he was right, because that's all we did, was we spent hours dropping stuff on each other, just goofing off. It was a time to be alive. And then
Mm-hmm.
ODST came out, and I remember when that saxophone first played, and it was like, oh. No, because up to that
Yeah.
point, no one had used a saxophone in a video game. And that's true. Mario O'Donnell was the first person to use a saxophone as a leading instrument in a game.
Mm.
And people went berserk they went nuts. People's brains exploded. And then Reach came out, and
Mm-hmm.
people were sobbing puddled mess. But each Halo game was like a win. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like, um, Bungie was unstoppable, practically. The
Mm-hmm.
debate of which was better,
Indeed.
Call of Duty or Halo, was like the rave for the longest time. And to me, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, as I've told people, you want historical stuff, go play Call of Duty. But if you want a story, a sci-fi story that is just so fascinating, go play Halo. And it's not just because I'm, a mad, nostalgic fanboy because Halo changed my life, but because Halo, if you look at the original music of Halo, where people go to and just listen to that choir go, it takes you back to a time when games were loved, when you could feel the love.
Mm-hmm.
And there aren't many games these days where you want to sit in the menu and go, oh yeah, this is going to be a good game. Doom, when Doom came out back when the new Doom came out, I remember we sat
Mm-hmm.
there listening to the menu music, just being like, this is going to be a good game.
That is true. That's what most games forget. Is they forget how to bring in the audience with their theme.
Presentation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shareware 2. Now, Shareware 2, if it was put out today, it would be slaughtered because of certain things that happen in the game, which when it came out,
Mm-hmm.
the era of time when it came out, it survived. But if it came out now, it wouldn't survive because of certain things happen, or the topic of what is talked about in the game. But when you get into the menu of Shareware 2, and the first thing you hear is that boom, 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 and the drums are just hammering, and the music is just going. You can't help yourself. You sit there, and you just
Mm-hmm.
forget the rest of the world exists. I played a game recently, just for watching me play through it,
Mm-hmm.
called The Sword of the Sea.
Yeah.
made by the
Mm.
same people who made Sky and Journey and Abzu. And just for I can tell you, because he was there, I sat there for 5 minutes just listening to the music. And that's when you know you're playing a game that people care about. Because Justifire was there for like almost the whole game, just talking to me the whole time. He was just as invested because he felt the passion in the game. He's like, I can feel it. I'm like, I can feel it too. It was great.
Mm-hmm. No.
But other than that, games these
Mm-hmm.
days just it makes you sad
Mm-hmm.
because
It's no
part
passion.
yeah, the passion is gone, and part of the reason, as some people say, is because we've grown up.
Which is not true.
Well, it depends on who you
Because who
ask.
makes the games? Adults. I don't see a teenager making a game. I mean, I'm pretty sure they are, but you know what I mean. Adults make games. So that argument is invalid. So
Yeah.
yeah.
There is a teenager making a
Mm-hmm.
game actually.
Mm-hmm.
Who played? Baz played a game recently that was made by a teenager, and it's actually pretty good. I forget what the game's called though. So there are people making games, but the thing I want is first, what I would like to see, but I doubt it's going to happen, is I really wish that game companies would just let the if don't feel bad if you put out a game and your fans, they play it, and then if in a few like a year or a few years they also try to do their own thing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Let them do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lego, let the Bionicle game happen. If you're watching this, which I don't know if you are, but let the Bionicle
Mm-hmm.
game happen. Just let it happen. Or
Mm-hmm.
or Nintendo. I know you're not going to listen, but instead of being jerks or being greedy little Prince Johns,
Mm-hmm.
if you know,
Yeah.
instead just stop it. Like, Power World is Power World. Like, come on. Are you
Mm-hmm.
really gonna get jelly over a game that's doing better than you are? Do you see any other game company fighting other game companies for doing better, making a better game? I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Really. Not really. Like,
No.
I
No.
don't, like, I don't know if EA would care if again, EA made 2 good Star Wars games that people are still crazy about. Konami remastered Silent Hill 2 and put out Silent Hill F. Both magnificent games. Because Konami knows how to make a good game, of course.
Indeed. Indeed.
I heard also that
Mm-hmm.
Silent Hills is coming, but it's
Yeah.
coming under a different name.
Oh, look at that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's gonna be called
Mm-hmm.
OD, I think.
Mm.
I think, but I have to check again. But yeah, look forward to that. There was a trailer that dropped and people are theorizing that might be what it is. But
Mm-hmm.
it's painful these days because I look at games that come out and I just don't I pick the ones I am interested in, but
Mm-hmm.
otherwise it's like it's kind of just dry these days and depressing.
I mean, I stopped by Games to City Skylines too. Like, I am so dumb. So.
Yeah.
Oh, also, my stream, we'll be playing Dukes later. A game I made, so stay tuned for that. Yeah.
You actually want to play Dukes?
Yeah, after this, yeah. So they can see an example of a game made with love.
Mm-hmm. Is that you inviting me to play with you?
Yes, Phil, you're free to join. And anybody else in
I
stream
can't
willing to
hear you.
join.
What was that?
Yeah.
Say it then. I'm listening.
Or should we put a vote, guys? Should we invite this? No, I'm kidding. Yes, Phil, you are invited.
Oh, he invited me to play Dungeon Dukes, guys. Yeah, let's talk about that.
But I do want
Let's
to
talk
say
about
this,
that.
though. Talk about what?
Dungeon Dukes. It is a game.
Well, before we get that there, though, I do want to say this because I think it's the issue here. is I know shareholders exist, but I just want every developer to know that
Don't surrender
games
your game to shareholders. That's all it is.
and games aren't a product. It's an art form. And I think if we just go back to the preface that game is an art form, games would be good instead of
Mhm.
just looking like realistic simulators, basically. It's like, yes, like I said earlier, graphics are good, but is it artistically good? Because it's all about the art, the direction, the
Art
energy.
doesn't
Because
sell
you
a
can
game.
play exactly. Because you can play old school games. You can see the art, the direction. Like you can see the mindset of the developers. Like we want you to be in this time period, like The Witcher. Like in
Mm-hmm.
The Witcher, you're in this medieval time period, in this atmosphere. You feel the danger. You feel like you are in that environment and as immersed. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get
You're
immersed.
fine. You're fine.
Yeah, because I'm trying to. What was that word? It was like, yeah, immersion. It's about the immersion. This is why Elder Scrolls Skyrim has lived for how long, and the game is still pumping. That just goes to show it's not about the art, the direction, caring about the
And
fan
Oblivion
base,
just got remastered.
and that too. These games are old. As if people will say old games don't sell, they're full of garbage. I'm gonna curse, but I can't. It's about the passion, the
You can
art.
crash out. Go ahead, Justifire. No, I'm not stopping you.
you know, it's like I'm just so sick of this notion of games just have to be products. It's like no, it's the art. And if you don't have that art and that direction, it's soulless.
Mm-hmm.
What's the soulless game? What's the game that came out that made PlayStation almost bankrupt? I forgot what game it's called. Was it something Conrad? I forgot what it's called. But if you know the game I'm talking about, that PlayStation tried to sell, Concord, I think it was called. I think it's called Concord. Like,
Hold on. Let's do it this way.
oh,
Let's just
oh,
do
you're
it.
gonna search for it?
That.
Yeah. Like that game flopped because it had no direction, no art. They were just checking boxes like LGBT checkbox. Make sure it's inclusive to all races checkbox. Like no, that's not how you make games. Games aren't a
Yep, it
checkbox.
was
It's an
Concord.
art form. Concord,
Concord
yes.
had
So
an estimated budget of 400 million.
mm-hmm.
That is depressing.
Yeah, so let that be a testament. Like games aren't checkboxes. It's an
It
art
took
form.
5 years to make.
Oh Jesus. So to all publishers, like games aren't checkboxes. It's an art form. And if you're not an artist, I'm sorry, I don't think you should be making games. That's just me. Because games are an art form or an expression in need of direction. Like if you want to be a marketing, you could do the game marketing, but do not be in the game space of art.
And
Do
don't
not,
do what
because
Blizzard did
you'll be in
either.
that Concord.
Don't don't do a Diablo and go, "Do you guys have don't you have phones?" That was so stupid.
Oh,
They
it's
lost a lot
great.
of money.
It's great.
They lost a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, and that's why in a few years that
Mm-hmm.
Xbox is also moving to PC too, from what I've heard, because
Mm-hmm.
they finally realized it's like, as fun as it is to do consoles, that PC is where it's at. Everybody's on PC now, unfortunately. Sorry, it's
Mm-hmm.
the truth.
Yeah, Rockstar. I'm sorry.
I mean, you're right. Like, the days of exclusive console games are gone. Like, I remember,
Mm-hmm.
again, on the subject of Xbox, like, one of my most favorite
Mm-hmm.
games to play on Xbox, that was exclusive, besides Burnout Revenge, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Burnout, I love Burnout.
Yeah.
Was Make Assault Lone Wolf. Was that a 360 title,
Mhm.
or is that yeah, it was an Xbox title. So for those of you who don't know what Mech Assault is, Mech Assault is basically where you drive a bunch of mechs, shoot other mechs blow up. Fun time. But Mech
Mhm.
Assault Lone Wolf stood out to me because not only
Mhm.
was it very fun to play for me,
Mhm.
um, it was just a great time. Another game that also was exclusive to Xbox was a game called Lost Planet. Lost Planet, as cheesy of you could call an anime-like game that it had a very good story. The monsters were very interesting,
Mhm.
and the mechs were freaking cool. And the fact that no one talks about Lost Planet these days is sad because it was a very good game.
Mhm.
Lost Planet 2 was also good, and it had co-op, and people loved that. But then Lost Planet 3 happened, and people were like, "What?"
Mm,
And that's just, and we
yeah.
can talk about sequels to games too, since we're talking about games. We
Yeah.
just talked about Lost Planet. So Dead Space, first two games, awesome, loved them.
Ooh, Dead
But
Space.
then Dead
Yeah.
Space 3 came out, and it wasn't scary because it had co-op. Because
Mhm. Yeah.
it took the terror out of it by giving it co-op, like because you have someone there with you, and then it's not as scary anymore because you have someone you can depend on. Now there are games that
Mhm.
can be scary with co-op.
Mhm.
Phasmophobia is one. Now it's crazy because like you're like Phasmophobia. That game came out in X whenever it came out. Phasmophobia is still alive today. You wanna know why? Because despite
Mhm.
everything that people say about Phasmo, if you look it up on Twitch,
Mhm.
it's everywhere
Yeah.
because people love it because it's a game you can pick up with your friends and run around hunting ghosts and get some spooks
Mhm.
and be silly in, like I do. That's where are you
Mhm.
comes from, and all these other silly jokes I know. Um,
Mhm. Also,
Demonologist,
Phasmo developers, don't sell out to Microsoft. Don't do it.
yeah,
No matter how much they give you money. Yeah.
they're making a new map. It'll be out soon, which I'm excited for. No, what
Ooh.
people want from Phasmo right now is they promised horror 2.0, and it hasn't happened yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what that means is it was going to be more horrifying. Graphics going to be better. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to remaster every map piece by piece, and that's fine.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
that's not exactly what they promised. But that I mean, and that's whatever. What's
Mhm.
another game sequels? Obviously Assassin's Creed. Like people argue that
So,
the
thank you
first,
very
second,
much. Hope you're enjoying
and
yourself.
third
And you fainted. Great.
Assassin's Creed were great, and then the rest of them, depending on who you ask, like depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Um, Prince of Persia, Sands of Time was great. Um,
Mhm.
Two Thrones was very interesting,
Mhm.
and because you could pick between good or bad, you had a choice. So thank you for the follow, by the
Mhm.
way. We're having a podcast, but we'll enjoy your stay. So Justifire, you go game sequels.
Game sequels. Well, many people know I'm very casual. I really don't play that many games, like how you play games. But for me, my favorite sequel would have to be Sly Cooper. I loved it. Band of Thieves. That was like my favorite sequel. Um, there was Sly 3, but it was kind of for me. But Sly 2, it felt like it had the fun, it had the difficulty, like things weren't too high, things too easy. But and then also Ratchet and Clank. I loved Ratchet and Clank. Uh,
Right.
mhm. And for my simulation, I was like The Sims. But we don't talk about Sims 4. We do not talk about that. Mm-mm. But Sims 2, Sims 3, love it. But
What's
yeah,
your
those are my
opinion
sequels,
on
my
the
favorites.
comparator for Sims right now? I don't know if you heard of it. I forget what. I know
I
what's
did not
called
know
when I
there was
see it.
another Sims coming out.
No, there's a competitor for Sims that's been going around.
Oh, what is it called? I never heard about this one.
Hold on, let me find it real quick.
Oh, like I said, I stopped caring about those franchises when The Sims 4 came out. I was so heavily disappointed. But it's EA. What do I expect? EA. EA has slowly have gotten better, but they can do way more better. More.
I know, right? It's called
Mhm.
In Zoe.
In Zoe, interesting. Hmm.
Yeah, so In Zoe was supposed to be a competitor for Sims, and it has its things.
Hmm.
It has its things that people like. But I don't know how well of a competitor it's been. On the subject of sim-like games, if we really want to go back when, I don't know if you remember the Black and White series.
No, I don't.
Okay, well,
No.
I do, because my mom played it. Yeah, irony. My mom actually loved Black and White, the first one. She played that to death. So Black and White is a god sim, but it is, it doesn't take itself seriously at all. It's very silly. You can choose to be a good or a bad, and my favorite guy obviously in that game is well, there are two favorites I have. I love Khazar, and I also love Nemesis. Nemesis is a terrifying bad guy, and Khazar is he's for the little bit that you know him, he was cool. For those of you that don't that remember that game like me, you actually can save Khazar. It's just very hard to do. But what else? Let's see what other sequels happened. Obviously, BioShock 1 and 2, great games.
I never played it, but I heard how good.
I know, and you're going to. You're gonna play them. You need to.
What, guys?
No, I want you to, because I want you to experience that it's an amazing time. BioShock is another game to change the world, because BioShock is fascinating. It's such a fascinating game. I could... Literally.
Yeah, I heard good things about it, BioShock,
So, the first BioShock is literally, for me, a religious study. I could sit and I could talk about the ethical implications of Ryan's beliefs and how much of a hypocrisy it is, because it's fascinating. BioShock 2 is about family and psychology, and that's fascinating. And then BioShock 3
BioShock 2, yep.
And then BioShock 3 is dimensions and cultish craziness, but as much as BioShock 3 is not as held as high as the first two games, it is fascinating. And its DLCs are very good too. But yes, BioShock 3 had DLCs, and there's your example of good DLCs, because they were basically their own games, and they were good. They tied into the first two games. I
mean, I'm guessing for Alex in my chat, he likes BioShock 2. Like, that's his favorite.
Yeah, I love BioShock as well. If, like, again, Metro series, all three, awesome games. The Metro VR game, great game. My favorite Metro is the third game. That's because of Miller and because of Anna. Anna's great game waifu. Love her to pieces. If you haven't played Metro 3, you'll understand why when you do. I'll give you an example. There's a part of the game where the game makes you run up a long, winding amount of stairs. But at the top is Anna, and she's waiting for you. And as soon as you get there, as soon as you go up the stairs, and it takes a long time, and you kind of you kind of feel yourself getting irritated as you go all the way up the stairs. But once you make it to the top, she's literally standing there, and the first thing she does is she tackles you with a hug, and it's the sweetest thing ever. And I remember when I first played that and got all the way up the stairs, I was mad. I was like, this took forever, but then she's standing there looking cute. She hugs you, and I'm just like, I would do that again. I'm sorry, Metro. I was so mean. I forgive you. This is fine. This is fine.
This is an example. This is what games have to be. They have to make you feel the characters. And not be like copy pasted soulless checkboxes, you know? This is good game design. You want your players to feel this way. You want them to have feelings for the characters. And it just boggles my mind that
I'm not going to spoil anything, but that game made me cry. Another game that made me cry, ugly cry, was Corpse of Discovery. I'm not going to say why. If you haven't played it, you should. It is a walking simulator. I know what people will say about walking simulators. Say what you want, but you can have good walking simulators. For example, Edith Finch is a good walking simulator. If you haven't played it, you should. It's very, very, very interesting. Homesick is another great walking simulator. It's worth it just for the music. The music is a piano and it's a cello. It's so soothing. Just sit there and listen. Just go.
For me, only 2 games made me cry. I mean, it's on my YouTube channel, but only 2 games have made me cry. Want me to say it? No, because when are you gonna look it up? You're not gonna look at me cry, so no, I'm not saying what games they were.
Was it one of them Last Guardian?
Maybe.
Yeah, Last Guardian made me cry.
Don't look it up either.
Yeah. Last Guardian was, I remember when that came out. There's a VR version too. That's what made. Or was it you could play it in VR? I think you either could. There's like someone made a VR thing, or you could play it in VR. Also, yes, you can play Silent Hill 2, the remake, in VR. There's a way to do it. I was going to do it for October, but I ended up playing a bunch of other horror games. So, at some point down the line, I plan to play Silent Hill 2 in VR, just for the heck of it, just to feel the experience. It'd be very interesting. Again, I didn't find Silent Hill 2 horrifying, as I found it very sad. Now, Silent Hill F was horrifying. I actually had to pause the game at one point to kind of take a breath because of what I was seeing in front of me. And there were 3 times I had to click be right back, so no one else saw what I was seeing. Like when the girl gets branded or loses her arm or gets her face cut off. Not pleasant, not anything, not something I want anyone to see.
Persona 3.
Yeah.
Persona 3. I can see why that made you cry. Yeah.
The Persona series is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zilla, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Welcome to Film Net Army. Enjoy your stay. Another game that was hard to play through for me was Martha is Dead, which is made by the same people who made Town of Light. You don't know what those 2 games are. I will warn you now. Both Town of Light and Martha is Dead are very difficult to sit through, because Town of Light is about it takes place in the era when asylums existed, and it basically tells the atrocities of someone who went through that, and it's very unpleasant. Wait, are you cats? No, I am a fabulous hatter to you, pal. Change the hat, okay.
Phil, you probably don't know. Alex is saying that game changed him. You just mentioned. A viewer of mine, I don't know if you can see, they said that game that you just mentioned changed him.
Yeah.
The game you mentioned.
Martha's Dead was very interesting. I remember playing it from start to finish. It was very hard to play through because at one point I'll put it like this. At one point, you have to cut a corpse open. I'll put it like that, and that's all you need to know. The game makes you do it. Who died? That's a spoiler. Unfortunately, you'd have to go and find out for yourself, buddy. The other hard game that I had a very hard time playing through was a game called Vertigo. Someone made Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo into a game, and it was very difficult to play through because of the fact that it was a choice-based game, but the game also made you play as the antagonist, and you had to do everything that she does. And it was not comfortable at all. She was completely nuts. She was obsessed with the protagonist's father, but when he, takes himself out of the picture, I'll put it like that. So you play all the non-horror games. I have played horror games, actually, and I would classify Martha is Dead and Vertigo as horror games, because, yeah, they're pretty horrifying what happens in both of them. I actually played a horror...
chat. I can't see what you guys are saying. I'm sorry.
Well, no, if they ask you something, I'll tell you, okay?
Oh, okay.
Has anyone in there asked me anything?
No, not yet. No, not in mine now.
So if you guys over there have any questions or anything, feel free to ask, just for our eye, while we do this podcast. Because, trust me, I have my corner of my eye on the chat, so if you guys have any questions, I will answer them as I go. But, another horror game... Crystal says that she loves, there's a good game from Nintendo called Love is Fire.
Oh?
I've never heard of it. Now, again, on the subject of Nintendo's games, they do make good games. We're not saying the games they make are bad. We're saying the company is bad, not the games. So before anyone gets any funny ideas, it's equivalent of saying, saying that because you're wearing a shirt from some shirt company that's doing shady practices, it doesn't mean the shirt is bad. Like, wear the shirt, who cares? Play the game, who cares?
Exactly.
But we're just roasting the company.
Yeah, if you like Nintendo, it's fine. The business practice, we just don't agree with. That's the issue here. The anti-consumer of the consoles and the prices that people can't afford, that kind of aspect. But, yeah, if you like Nintendo, it's fine. Some people, that's their childhood, which makes sense.
Fire Emblems.
I'm totally fine
Crystal
with
said
it.
Fire Emblems. That's a game. I've never heard of it. But yeah, I would say that those 3 games have been the most difficult games to... Well, 4. That's 4 games that were most difficult for me to play through. Town of Light, Martha's Dead, Vertigo, and Silent Hill F. Very difficult to play through. But I did enjoy all of them. Now, so I wouldn't... if you are not someone who... If you're someone who's easily disturbed, those games will horrify you because of what you have to do in them. And trust me, like, I didn't expect that I'd have to do that in Martha's Dead either. Like, the game made me do all kinds of different things. I'm just like, okay, why? But okay. But when it came to that part, I was like, why are we doing this? Why is this necessary? Why are you making me do this game? Like, why can't it be like a cutscene where she does it herself and I'm not involved? Like, why do I have to push the button to do this or do that? It's like, why? Like, the game really puts you through it, the ringer in those games, Now, just for as more of a casual person, he's played Sims, he plays City Skylines. He also, I know he's played After Inc. as well. And After Inc. had its recent update, which I finally got a hold of. After Inc. is on paper, at this point, I've played it long enough to where I can say, on paper, the concept, the idea of it was interesting. But in practice, the game feels like it needs a lot more. Don't you think?
I agree. I mean, it was a mobile game at first, so I understand how the game design was a bit different because mobile games are different than PC games because you want to get people to buy stuff and that kind of aspect. So I'm pretty sure they're in that transitional phase of mobile design to PC design, which is I hope they can do it. But the zombies, they could do more with the zombies for sure.
I hate the zombies
need
so
a bit
much.
of work.
I don't know what I hate
Yeah.
more, either the zombies or the fact that like, the game, like, people, like, that game infuriates me on so many levels because it's either the zombies or people aren't a bit independent and can't think for themselves, or they get sick easily, or it's like, guys, go figure it out yourself. What do I think about indie games? I love indie games.
Plague Inc. They should do how they did the process of that. Like each tier solves an issue in a good way. Because Plague Inc. was balanced and it was great. I love the Plague Inc.
Plague Inc. was very fun. I love indie games, Crystal. In fact, I do.
I'm an indie game developer. Hi. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Indie games are great because it's not a bidding by shareholders, and that's why indie games are great.
Yeah. Like, for example, again, Cultic is a good example of an indie game. Another game that's a great example of being passionately made would be Bug Snacks, or what's another one? Nightmare of Decay is another one. In fact, I got to talk to the developer of Nightmare of Decay because he made a comment on one of my videos.
In Pal World.
In Pal World, yes. So in Nightmare of Decay, there was a monster I ran into, which, according to the developer, was a bug that shouldn't have been there. But thanks to me, he's like, "Oh, I thought I got him, but apparently he was there in that one spot." So as you're going through the game and, dealing with the monsters and whatever, there's a certain room I went into when I opened the door, this thing was on the bed. It was this gigantic white spidery thing with a bunch of legs. It was very grotesque looking and gross to look at.
Yeah.
But according to the developer, that thing is actually a bug. It's not supposed to exist unless you do it only appears if something isn't working correctly in the game or something. That's what he told me. And he thought he had patched it out, but he's like, I don't know how you found it, but you found it. And he's like, and yes, it's invincible. You can't kill it. I'm like, seriously? Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a bug that just yeah. Another great indie game would probably be Shovel Knight and its sequels, and of course,
She checking and say Dungeon Duke. See, I told you.
Dungeon Dukes, yeah. Hey, Pastel.
I'm messing with you.
Awesome Tales, Legend of the Sleeping King. Yeah, you told us about that, Crystal. I looked into that. Hey, Pastel, I love you. Yeah, Justifire and I could sit here talking for hours about games, guys, and I wouldn't get tired of it.
I mean, don't worry, we're gonna end soon. We don't want to be here forever, but yeah.
Because we're going to show you guys a game that's actually that's love has been put into. You just woke up, all right? Because so here's what we want you all to do, audience, if you have the time, is go look around. You'll be surprised what you'll find, especially if you know where to look. Like, say, for example, Game Jolt or The other place.
Mhm.
What's the other place?
Besides Steam, I don't know any others.
Game Jolt and
Yeah.
Itch.io. Itch.io's the other one. And Alpha Beta Gamer.
Itch.io?
Yeah, Itch.io.
Mm,
The fact that you don't know about that's amazing.
interesting. Yeah. You see, I'm not a gamer. No, I'm kidding.
You don't need to be a gamer.
I'm
You
not
should.
into games like I used to be. Yeah, but
Well,
yeah.
yeah, Alpha Beta Gamer is another place. That's where I find out things. And the other place, it is, I also get keys from developers occasionally, because I'm connected to certain places.
Mm.
So developers will reach out to me and be like, hey, you want to play this? I'm like, shoot, sure. Which has happened a lot.
Hmm.
Because that's kind of what happens when you're somebody like me who's played a lot of stuff, you'll get noticed. So who have I talked to when it comes down to games? I've talked to the musician who did Templar, which if you don't know what that is, that's a boomer shooter game, but the musician came into my stream and he said, my music is basically the 2D 8-bit version of Doom. And I'm like, don't do that to yourself, dude. You do great.
Yeah.
I got to talk to the developers of Progress Bar. They used to shout out me playing their game all the time. There's a game on Steam called what's it called? I have it here. Hold on. It's not a great game, but I did advise things in it, so where is it? Not that one. Oh yeah, you guys should totally, by the way, play Stasis if you haven't. That's a fantastic horror game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Down the Dead is what the game's called. Yeah, Nugget's nice. So, the developers of Down the Dead actually first showed up in my stream when I first played their game. They were very excited. And they're like, hey, if you have any things about, us improving our game, please tell us. And basically, I spent a lot of time playing their game and telling them how they could improve it. So, it's not a great, fantastic thing, but something I look at, and I'm like, I actually had a hand in creating a game, helping a game that's on Steam right now, and now I'm helping this dude because I'm an investor. I'm a chronic investor with what I do, and I've been investing into Dungeon Dukes ever since I found it, and I also invest into the creator behind it, even though he drives me crazy, and sometimes I want to strangle him, but what is friendship without you not wanting to strangle your friends? Talking about you, like,
In my stream, I'm named Alphinore. I don't know who this Justifire guy is.
What's this name above your head?
They can't see it.
Above his head, it's Justifier, so he's clearly lying, but So, with that said, though, as much as it hurts, we're not going to give up on the passion that we have for video games. Well, I may have given up on, say, Mystery Case Files, but that's because, at this point, I've said my piece on Mystery Case Files, but Mystery Case Files used to be great. And for those of you who don't know what Mystery Case Files is, it's basically a hidden object game series. What are hidden object game series is? Think of it as I Spy with extra steps. So, I used to play them, and I don't really touch them anymore because I am so tired of AI destroying things, but we'll get to that episode when we do, because I have a lot to say about the fact that AI has basically destroyed one of my childhood favorite games of all time, series of all time.
To be continued.
Because Mr. Case Files went from being a legendary untouchable thing, and it went from that to being slop. I can't even look at it anymore without getting angry, because they've milked one of the entire thing. The new studio that has it. As soon as Mystery Case Files came into the hands of Grandma Studios, it was over. Like, Grandma Studios has been milking Ravenhearst forever now. And that's it. That's all it's been, is Ravenhearst, because they've got nothing else. They have literally nothing else. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, shameless plug, I do have a YouTube channel. There's a video in there called The Rise and Fall of Mystery Case
Subscribe.
Files. You can literally go and you can listen to me talking about the history of Mystery Case Files. And also, there's also a video called Dissecting Evil, the Dalmar Family, which goes through the confusing, convoluted timeline of the Dalmars up to a certain game, and they'll make everything make sense. But I won't touch Mystery Case Files because I don't want to. I just look into the MCF Wiki Discord I'm in. I don't really do anything in there. I don't even know why I'm there anymore. I originally went in there because I was hoping to be part of some team to do Mystery Case File stuff, but that never came to light, so I don't even know why I'm there anymore. But from what I've seen of what people are saying, people aren't happy, but I've said my piece on it, and I'm not talking about it anymore because it's like, I can't be bothered. However, there are good games on Big Fish, even though Big Fish Big Fish sold itself and turned itself into a more of a gambling place than anything. But that's just the gambling side of it, and I don't play the gambling side of Big Fish. I look at the hidden object games because that's what I knew, and that's what I loved about Big Fish. And they're using AI now in their games, and it went from a little thing here and a little thing there to I can see it everywhere, in the art, in the voices.
The only time AI should be using game is for NPCs, and that's it.
Yeah. Again, there is a way to use AI. And to go back on what I said when I began this, the only exception to the rule on AI that I would allow is if you made the game entirely yourself, as someone I knew did. Someone I knew made their entire map of backrooms, but they had no idea how to code a certain thing, so they used AI to code that one thing. That's it. And for that, I'm like, that's fair. That's fine. If you're using AI to help you, that's one thing. But don't market it as... don't just ship it off after that. Turn it into your own thing. Because companies now are running around being like, AI is great, and it's like, no, it's not. It's a soulless, mindless thing.
It's a tool, and it should only be used as a tool, not a replacement.
Because AI can do things, yeah, sure, but as we've learned with sci-fi movies, as we learned by just basic historical observation, do you guys remember, again, do you all remember when self-driving cars were first coming around? When those papers came out that were like, what would you choose to do? You know, the scenario of, you're driving this fast. There are this people here, this people here, this people here. Which do you choose? Like, do you choose that, or that? And you don't have brakes either, so you can't stop. It's kind of the same thing now, where it's like, AI can copy people, it can emulate voices, it's people are able to
save that for the episode.
I know.
Remember,
anyway,
I'll get too much attention.
So
yeah,
to end this off, we're going to show you guys Dungeon Nukes. This is a game that Justifire has worked many hours of his life on, and he is very passionate about it. Yeah, he'll deny it, but he does love Dungeon Nukes very much. It's his baby. And I love Dungeon Nukes very much because I have invested I don't know how many hours into it at this point. And money, too.
I mean, my chat knows the other version of Dukes, we don't talk about that, but yeah.
I know the other version of Dukes. I've seen it. It's at that mall world.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
used to be, if you want to see the mall world, I have it, by the way.
Oh dear. Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to tell you
Mm-hmm.
something before we go.
Uh-oh.
No,
Mm-hmm.
you're not in trouble. I think your chat needs to hear
Mm-hmm.
this. I'm proud of you.
Oh, hold on. Let me. There you go. Now you fix the turn.
No, you put that back. They need to
Mm-hmm.
see you too.
They need to see me. But yeah.
I'm proud of you, buddy. All right.
Oh, thanks. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad we're still friends after all of this long year and so many months of knowing each other. You drive me crazy. Yeah, you do. But I wouldn't want
Mm-hmm.
any other different.
I'm proud. Been a great time.
This is always
Great
this
time.
is your home. You can always come back to it. Wherever you go, you can always come back. All right.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Don't you forget that, right?
Oh, oh, trust me, I won't.
Mm-hmm.
I won't. But I do want to say
And
one thing before we close off.
if people
Just one
drive
thing.
you crazy, if you need someone to beat the snot out of your haters, I will do it. Because people don't know how to play your game like I do. Like, people need to figure it out. It's not that hard to play. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Like, he tells me that people just press buttons. It's like, Dungeon Duke is more than just pressing buttons. Read everything. I don't care what kind of TikTok attention span you have. Get over yourself. Get good. Learn to read. Yes. Pastel gives you X2. You wanna take us to your game?
Sure.
All right.
But like I said, before I do that, I just want to say one thing though. Just one thing. Because I think it just needs to be said. Like, there's a reason why people like Rockstar, and there's one reason, and it's not because of the graphics. They're like how they do their open worlds. It's how they make their games, and their games are immersive. And if you can make an immersive game, you are the Rockstar. That's all I wanted to say.
I think
So
it's
everybody can
passion.
agree.
I think it's
And
passion.
that too.
I
Like,
think
I love
if
RDR
you,
too.
yeah,
I love it.
if you, there's a way you can know when a game is made with passion because you can feel it. Just as when I stream with as much passion as I can give, and people feel it. That's why we're climbing close to 1,000, is because I've been fighting tooth and nail to get here. And I'm very passionate about this, because if this doesn't work, what the heck am I gonna do?
Yeah.
There's nothing else I want to do, and I've been fighting for years to make it work. But yeah,